What's up BTB viewers? Welcome to another podcast episode. आज हम चोकर्स और कैंगरूज की बात करने वाले हैं। एक टीम है जिसको जो हमेशा क्रिकेट में हमेशा अव्वल रही है, दूसरी टीम है जो रिसेंटली बहुत चोक करने लग गई है, हेंस द टर्म चोकर्स। एंड यस, आज सौम्य और मैं उन्हीं दो टीम्स के सेमीफाइनल की बात करने वाले हैं। पहला सेमीफाइनल इंडिया और न्यूजीलैंड का है जिसका हमने पूरा सेपरेट वीडियो बनाया हुआ है in the description below if you want to see that, and do check that out. काफी interesting है. The second semi-final is between Australia and South Africa. Both amazing teams. दोनों का ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड काफी बढ़िया रहा है, तो सौम्य और मैं आज उसी की बात करने वाले हैं। सौम्य, लेट्स जस्ट स्टार्ट ऑफ बाय जस्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट दोनों टीम्स की जर्नी कैसी रही है टू द सेमीफाइनल्स. गो ऑन.
So when the World Cup started, South Africa were looking like a favorite because they had all the bases covered, and South Africa was the team to beat in this World Cup. But they have been performing good in starting matches because they got pitches which suited them particularly. Their batting, they scored 400 above runs against Sri Lanka, where three batsmen scored 100 and made mockery of the Sri Lankan bowlers. Like it was that kind of hammering, and they played like champions in the first two matches, and then came the Netherlands. that
The match that changed the entire history of cricket.
South Africa always dreaded Netherlands because they got out of the T20 World Cup last year because of them, and now they lost a match in the 50 over World Cup against Netherlands. And they also lost a match against India, and common thing in both of the matches was they were chasing the total. And that is the point we need to understand here, because South Africa, if batting first, they look to be a good side because their batsmen are getting run and their bowlers are performing under lights. But when they are given a task to chase a total, then they crumble under pressure. Hence, they are the chokers of this tournament. And if Australia won that toss on the second semi-final on the pitch of Eden Gardens, it is happening on the Eden Gardens, right? And if they chose to bat first, Australia chose to bat first, then South Africa will be in deep trouble. And I think that because all the matches they have chased in 4 matches in this tournament. 2 of them they have lost, and that is the only 2 losses they got in this tournament. And while other 2 matches were close as well, they won with 1 wicket against Pakistan, where the last standing pair scored 11 runs and brought victory to them. And other match was against Afghanistan, where they won by 5 wickets, where top order collapsed. So it is a kind of उनकी दिक्कत है ये वाली बड़ी कि वो चेस करेंगे तो उनको चोक करने का बहुत डर रहेगा, जबकि अगर उनकी बैटिंग फर्स्ट आती है ना तो उनके पास एक क्लियर प्लान रहता है दिमाग में. उन्होंने अपना गेम 2 हिस्सों में बांट रखा है. ये पहले के 30 ओवर्स वो लोग एक वनडे के जैसे खेलते हैं और आखिरी के 20 ओवर्स वो T20 जैसे खेलते हैं. तो पहले के 30 ओवर में वो अपना रन रेट 5.5 या 6 के अराउंड रखते हैं, ताकि वो मतलब रन बॉल से बहुत कम ना हो जाए. 5.5 या 6 मिनिमम रहता है. एंड जब जैसे ही आखिरी के 20 ओवर्स चालू होते हैं ना, तो दे गो इन द बीस्ट मोड. वो 10 रन प्रति ओवर के हिसाब से रन बनाने लगते हैं. तो इसलिए अगर देखें तो इस वर्ल्ड कप में सबसे ज्यादा 300 प्लस स्कोर साउथ अफ्रीका ने बनाया. एंड जब जब उनकी फर्स्ट बैटिंग आई है, उन्होंने मोस्टली हर बारी 300 क्रॉस किया है, जो कि सबसे ज्यादा है. एंड इवन 400 भी कितनी बार क्रॉस कर लिया. उनके बैट्समैन फॉर्म में है, बॉलर्स भी अच्छे हैं, बट वही है, द मेन रीजन इज they are not looking favorite in the semi-final is because of their tag, that is chokers, and they crumble under pressure. That is the main thing that is keeping them away from a final.
And at this, I think, world stage contest, it's all about having the psychological upper hand, that you're able to.
That is what is happening with India. We also know that because India haven't won a trophy in, I guess, 10 years now, because last we won 2013 Champions Trophy. Now we have been in most of the World Cup semi-final,
and we have
lost semi-finals and finals, and we have lost 2 Test Championships finals also. So it is kind of a thing that thing that used to be South African, now it's also Indian. Like
So
we
it's
used to choke.
it's like we are the RCB of world tournaments.
Yeah, obviously.
A little.
Two greats are in RCB, na? Virat Kohli used to be there. AB de Villiers used to be there. So Indian South African connection is there. Now
Yeah.
it's Faf du Plessis, RCB captain.
Mohammad Siraj and Faf du Plessis.
Uh,
Um, yeah, also. That also takes us to Australia, which have been dominant in the game as always. Australia, I think, bro, is the only team to have, like in all of cricket history, the only team to have sort of played the game just like they play. Look, there's no such difference. Like,
hmm.
आप Mark Wasp के time से देखो, then you come to the Ponting and the Gilchrist era with Hayden ऐसे बड़े players. Then आपका ये जो बीच वाला era था, Steve Smith and the gang. And अब ये जो नए लोग आए हैं, Labuschagne and Pat Cummins, you got Travis Head, all these new players. Always Australia has consistently shown their game.
They are known for their attacking mindset and in the cricket as well because they have the rich history of attacking cricket. 2003 World Cup, 2007 World Cup, they won every match of it, like from group stages to semi-final and final. They won every match of that tournament, 2003 and 2007. In
Yeah.
2003, they beat India in the final, but it was embedded in them, as we can say, their Australian spirit of never giving up, and they have been doing that in this World Cup too. They started on a bad note, got all out for 199 against India in Chennai, and India won that game. Then against they had South Africa in the second game, so tough draw for them. That starting two games are like for a against a bigger team. Like you want to start your tournament with like a medium level team or lower grade team so that you can build up your momentum. But their two games of the starting were against India and South Africa. So they were tough. Like against South Africa, they dropped so many catches and their batting looked horrendous. Like they were never in the game. So after that, then their third game was against Sri Lanka. And Sri Lanka were cruising at a moment, like they were none for 120. It was that kind of a thing. But then Australia made a comeback. Thanks to Pat Cummins, he took a wicket, and
Man.
then from then onwards, Australia has been unstoppable, and they are winning every single game in the way they used to win in like earlier tournaments also. So they are a team to watch, and I can see them in the finals. That is my prediction, as they have been performing like a champion, and it is the second best team in this World Cup, obviously, according to the points table and according to the performances after India. And apart from first two match, Australia has looked quite, formidable side and only side that could give competition to India. If New Zealand has managed to pass over India, we don't know. We are recording for the second semi-final, but semi-final one hasn't been there yet.
Yeah, there's no decision yet, and we have this whole segment in that video how scared we are to our wits about India losing the semi-final. Okay,
So,
so that also takes us to the both sides. We also want to discuss about some key players of the match. I'm just going to take up Australia first because one big fact of this entire tournament is कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया के जितने प्लेयर्स हैं छोटे से बड़े सब ने कुछ ना कुछ रिकॉर्ड सेट किया ही है. First of all, let's talk about the batting order. तो आप जितने highest scores in this cricket World Cup, most of them are Australians except Quinton de Kock. Okay, so like if you talk about the whole list, we have sorry, what's the name? We have Glenn
Maxwell scoring
Maxwell,
200.
the excellent 200 that astounded everyone. Then Mitchell Marsh with the 177 not out. Uske baad de Kock comes, and then we got two more batsmen, which would be David Warner with his 163, and then Conway. So just look at this, man. The whole, as you said, कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया का ऐसा है कि एक ना एक प्लेयर आके ले जाता है पूरे मैच को. That is some next level shit. It's like comparing cricket to football, where it's one team. जैसे Al Nassr है, so Ronaldo is taking every single goal, or it's Messi in Inter Miami taking every goal. It's a situation like that.
It is like that because अगर अपन देखें तो पहले के 2 मैच जब हारी थी ऑस्ट्रेलिया, so their batting wasn't performing, their bowling wasn't performing, and they looked below par. Like they weren't even for semi-final spot. They weren't even competing for the semi-final spot. It looked like that. They will never go into semi-final. But in the third match, things changed. And क्या change हुआ उसमें सबसे पहले एडम जम्पा का. वो पहले के 2 मैच में उनको इंजरी थी एडम जम्पा को, तो वो परफॉर्म नहीं कर पा रहे थे. बट थर्ड मैच तक आते आते उनकी बेटर हो गई, मतलब तबीयत वगैरह इंजरी ठीक हो गई, हील हो गई थोड़ी. तो थर्ड मैच में उन्होंने 4 विकेट लिए. एंड उसके बाद उन्होंने लगातार 3 या 4 मैचेस तक 4 ऐसे विकेट लिए. तो सिंगल हैंडेडली उन्होंने अपनी बॉलिंग से ऑस्ट्रेलिया को गेम में बनाए रखा एंड जिताने में इम्पोर्टेंट हाथ लगाया. बट उसके बाद क्या हुआ, फिर डेविड वार्नर आया. डेविड वार्नर ने 150 रन करे पाकिस्तान के खिलाफ. उधर से वो सिंगल हैंडेडली मैच उधर से निकाल दिया उन्होंने. फिर क्या हुआ, अगेंस्ट न्यूजीलैंड था, तो ट्रेविस हेड डेविड वार्नर ने ओपनिंग पार्टनरशिप करके न्यूजीलैंड के हाथों से मैच निकाल दिया. फिर उसके बाद बात करें अपना मैक्सवेल ने अफगानिस्तान के अगेंस्ट 201 बना के मैच जीता दिया. और फिर आखिरी मैच था बांग्लादेश के खिलाफ, तो मिचेल मार्श ने 177 रन बना दिए. तो इट्स लाइक दैट कि देयर आर इंडिविजुअल परफॉर्मेंसेस, एंड as we know, Australians are like they are a team to beat because all the 11 players have the capability to perform, and they are a world class side. But it is not a performance that is coming from everyone at the same time, unlike India, because in India they are all peaking at the same time. But in Australia it's happening like 1 or 2 players are performing and they are winning match for Australia, and they are not same players for each matches. Like in some match Maxwell will perform, or David Warner will perform, or Adam Zampa will perform. It's like that. So, and also if we talk about South Africa have players which are performing well together. In terms of their batting, Markram has been there, Quinton de Kock has been there, Klaasen has been there. And in terms of bowling, Rabada and Marco Jansen has been performing completely throughout the tournament. And Keshav Maharaj will be helpful. Coetzee is also there, and Keshav Maharaj will play an important role on the Eden Garden pitch because it's spinner friendly. So South African team look much more in the in the mindset that they will go further in the tournament, like in the finals. But due to their history of being choked in such crunch moment of the games, I do not have the confidence in them yet. कि they will go into the finals, because I know ऑस्ट्रेलिया जब भी नॉकआउट मैच आते हैं तो ऑस्ट्रेलिया को हराना सबसे बड़ी दिक्कत हो जाती है, क्योंकि ऑस्ट्रेलिया नॉकआउट मैच में नहीं हारता है. बहुत केसेस हो चुके हैं ऐसे, एंड इसलिए मेरे को लग रहा है कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया हैज एन अपर हैंड ओवर साउथ अफ्रीका, बट साउथ अफ्रीका इज द मोर डिजर्विंग टीम टू बी इन द फाइनल.
And also there's this recent news, Hashim Amla, who's the ex South African cricketer, he said he sort of predicted 2 finalists for the World Cup. Pehla is obviously India after beating New Zealand, and second he said South Africa, and that is next level trust, which I am not able to understand.
Even I also saw ABD Villiers predicting, and he said South Africa versus New Zealand final.
Okay. What?
But I don't see that happening, because I think it will be India versus Australia. Let's hope India beat New Zealand. I don't know, but I think Australia will beat South Africa.
It's highly it's highly likely. So I guess we'll all have to check it. And when's the semi-final? I think it's on
the 16th. 15th is India versus New Zealand, and 16th is South Africa versus Australia. And it is on the Eden Gardens pitch, so it is the same pitch. I don't think it will be the same pitch, but the pitches are being slow there. If we take a look at the matches that has been held there, most of the pitches there are slow, and the ball grips on it if we bowl first. Like Keshav Maharaj against India, he gave away 30 runs in his put of 10 overs and took wicket of Shubman Gill. That dream delivery. But you have to be consistent in your line or length. Otherwise, Tabrez Shamsi का खराब हाल हुआ था. Indian batsman ने बहुत मारा था उसको, क्योंकि he was bowling short balls. So you not only have to be a spinner, but also having good line and length to bowl on that pitch, then you can, choke the opponent and you can stop their run flow. So जो भी पहले obviously, if South Africa will win the toss, they will elect to bat first because they don't want the pressure of the second inning chasing the total. So they will bat first, and if they bat first, Adam Zampa has a chance of taking many wickets because he's a spinner who is in form for Australia, and he's the only spinner. And I guess Glenn Maxwell will bowl some overs.
Maybe, yeah, definitely.
To help him. And if South Africa batted second, I don't think they will win it. It's 70-30 in Australia. If they batted even 80-20 in Australia, in favor of Australia, if South Africa batted second, but it will be 60-40 if South Africa batted first in favor of Australia.
Yeah. So, guys, it all goes down on 16th November, and it's an unlikely match. I mean, if we talk about the odds, Australia is most likely to go to the finals. But again, who knows? The chokers could be the underdogs of this World Cup. Who knows? What are your opinions? हमें जरूर comments में बताएं. And also tell us, who do you think is going to the final and कौन जीत सकता है? Let's hope it's India, because as Soumya said, 2013 was the last time जब हम Champions Trophy जीते थे. We definitely need this World Cup win for Indian cricket. Okay, guys.
इससे बेहतर कुछ हो भी नहीं सकता ऑब्वियसली, क्योंकि अब एक रीसेंट इंटरव्यू में शायद रवि शास्त्री ने बोला था कि इफ इंडिया ये वर्ल्ड कप नहीं जीतता है, देन इंडिया हैव टू वेट 3 or 4 years for 3 or 4 World Cups for to win the next World Cup, because it is most likely that India should win because all the players are peaking at the same time, and ये बहुत ही रेयर चीज होती है हमेशा कि सारे प्लेयर्स परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं एक साथ. ये बहुत रेयर होता है, जबकि नॉर्मल सिनेरियो ये होता है जो ऑस्ट्रेलिया का हो रहा है कि कोई ना कोई प्लेयर आगे जीता रहा है. तो इसलिए अगर इंडिया इस बार का नहीं जीतती तो फिर आपको 3-4 वर्ल्ड कप तक आप भूल जाइए कि वापस इंडिया जीतेगी ऐसा कुछ. तो इट शुड बी इंडिया who should be winning this World Cup, but if not, then I think Australia will be the one.
Definitely. Yeah. And okay, guys, that's it for our podcast today. We hope you had a good time, and see you in the next one. Peace.